Check, check. Hoon check, hello, check. Hey. What's up, everyone? Give me a momento, por favor. Let's see. Here. Easy, please. Put this over here. And well, all right. Hey. All right. Give everybody un momento to get up in here. While I put this on my Twitter, in fact, let me go ahead and put Twitter up. Hey. What up? Make sure you like, subscribe. I am doing some posting real fast, and then we are going to get into it today, man. Sweet. And image. Where the image at? Hey. Where? Hey, there we go. What up, everybody? My name is TrajicK Jeffrey, and welcome to ToxicThoughts, where I dump my brain on the internet, hoping that something that I share with you is helpful. Again, my name is TrajicK. All right. So we're going to get this popping today. Let me see. All right, good. So I hope everyone is well. I know I have not been around. I've been working on my songwriter's course, which I've just about finished, about halfway through the script, for like 25 chapters. I'll show y'all a bit about it in a bit later. Today, we're talking about whether or not you can scale up what you're offering as a business, what you're offering as a service, what you're offering as a product, whether or not you are selling items, whether or not you are streaming music, whether or not you are getting intellectual copyrights for your artwork. As a creative, it doesn't really change for us. Nothing really changes for us. So my goal, ToxicHustle, what we do and what we will be doing is being a bit more transparent over the long haul of showing you how we're doing business so that you can piggyback off of it. Because at the end of the day, there's going to be a ton of businesses that are going to need service work because they don't understand that the gross national product of every single country is going to be media, that every corporation is going to have to be a media company. Every single company, business on the planet will have to, by and large, upfront, first things first, man. You're effing with the worst. You're going to have to be a media company because you have to promote whatever it is you're doing, but you can't just say, buy my ish, buy my ish, buy my ish. You're going to feel that as we go through this recession. It's going to get real prevalent as we go through the next level of this pain. So, what I'm going to do is we're going to get started, right? We're going to talk about BTC and stocks. Let's do that. I didn't open a window for it, so let me do that now. Hold on. Un momento. I opened in the wrong window. There we go. We're going to need stock data and open all 12 of the stock data. Sorry, y'all. Usually I have this ish loaded up front. So let me just let this thing load and then we will get it popping. There we go. Actually, no, we don't. Da-dum, da-dum. Let's see if I can get some resources. Sorry, y'all. Let me pull some resources because, yep, that's exactly what I needed to do. Close out some of this stuff on the back end and free it up. So give me one moment while I free up a few things. All right, there we go. All right. No, 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 no. Waited for Bitcoin chart to load. And we're on the weekly. And here's the seasons of Bitcoin. All right. So on Twitter, I posted about the fact that we're going to go into, in fact, let me pull it up. Actually, better yet, no. I got a better one. Let's go to the Discord because I posted in the Discord. It is on Twitter, but I posted it in the Discord. So this was in the Discord, Musical Geniuses Discord, September 15th. So that would be today, but I did earlier. Let's go back in time. Let's go back. Cuz I want to show y'all. If y'all aren't in the Discord, I kind of like drop my thoughts, right? Now, I've been saying that we're looking at a 13.9 13K drop in BTC. And these dips have been, while this dip, if we go into the present, hasn't played out, I tell you that all dips are within a 3 range. But we still have a dip coming on September the 9th, the week of September the 19th, which is next week. Right? We have a sentiment line, a major sentiment line. Well, I'll just go ahead and show you that on the charts, right? So here we go, September 19th, and we are live because y'all saw me just load this page. I'm going to drag this there. I'm trying to keep it as close as possible. Okay, yeah. So I can go ahead and drop this down. So I will have to lose my arrows, right? Well, we might be able to get it. There we go. All right, so this purple line down here is a major sentiment line, which I showed you in sentiment charting, which is basically this is a month's sentiment um, played out and colorized, right? So I go into the monthly and I draw lines. Those are your monthly lines, and the blues are my weekly lines. And what monthly lines mean is that it's a major line. It's major sentiment has either bounced or fallen from those points. So here is a monthly line. You see it smacked its head up there and falls right down. Here, you break a monthly line, you pretty much fall to the next monthly line. That's just the way it plays out. So you go from one monthly line, which when you broke this one, you go down to the next one, or you pass right by it and you down to the next one, right? You keep going to the next monthly line. So right now we're at this 19,000 monthly line, but the problem is the next line is down here at 13,741. That's why I said 13.8 slash 13.7, whatever. So 13K is what the drop down point is. And we are right now, right before a major dip. Now you've seen these dips play out. The only one that hasn't played out, which I tell you is within 3, right? I always say it's within 3. Don't just count it on the day because something might, an option expiration might fall on 1 week and might shift another week. So we don't know what happens in that zone. And the news always follows the dip. And that's why I said this is a major one, because this is the major September dip point. Then the next major dip is going to be the November dip. Now, I could track all the micro dips that are going to happen, but from here on out, the only one we have to worry about is this big dog right here. Because every year,
Bruh.
ridiculous. Every single year, the December dip, the November dip crushes spirits, right? And then you've got this January dip that's right behind it. So we've just got to prepare ourselves because this ain't done yet. And why do I say this? I say this because Bitcoin follows a cycle because it's trapped on computers, and those computers have been trading and transacting in this capital cash flow for multitudes of years. So they just play out that way now. And these fools put this on the market now. So it's going to affect the market. Ethereum finished its thing, and then the market fell down today because it's buy the rumor, sell the news. Now, for me, I planned, as I showed y'all in January, I planned, hey, I don't like the way this economy is looking. I had already sold off all the Bitcoin in December because I was like, hey, we're going back into this crypto cycle, right? Back here, I was telling y'all, hey, this is, first week of November, last week of November, first week of December, I was going to be out. I held out an extra week just to see if there was going to be this Christmas rally. And I said, no, let me stop playing myself and get out. And then I told you there's a January dip. There it is right there. Then I started mapping the micro dips as we went out, which I've been doing, mapping out these micro dips. Now, the only one that didn't happen was this one, but I told you it's within 3. So if I go boom, it's at a bottom already from a fall that happened here. So it just shifted. It wasn't here. It was back here, but a dip is going to fall within 3. And then you've got this big dog right here just waiting. You remember how it felt last time. So if you were around through last year, and when I was telling y'all, hey, watch out, there's a November dip. If you were around in 2017, if you go back in these videos and go back to 2017, the 2017, 2018 bull run, I was sitting there saying, hey, I might need to get up out of here, or there's a dip coming. But I didn't know how strong it was going to be. I didn't know it was going to be this strong. We didn't have enough cash flow in the cryptocurrency market to even see ish. While everybody, all your other crypto YouTubers who are disappearing now, I shifted my entire business model because I realized when you're in crypto winter, it sucks. And you got to wait till the halving cycle. And that's like, we got to wait till 2024. Like, it's a wrap. Like, the investment money came into crypto. Right now, crypto, like every other company on the effing planet right now, all have to find a way to make money. They have to prove they have value. We're in a value zone. We're no longer in growth where you could speculate and everything runs up. Monkeys are throwing darts on a freaking board and all the stocks are going up. You've got camels making freaking stock picks and winning. That says a lot when monkeys are choosing stocks and winning. That means any monkey can do it. We as a people, Black Wall Street, we as a people, we forgot what the hell we're supposed to be doing out here. Ask yourself, what the hell do we create? We have to have a domestic product. Domestic product, a gross, grand, big, large, gross domestic product. Do you know what that's going to be in the next 5 to 10 years? Media. Every single company on the planet is going to wake up and realize, oh shit, I gotta be a media company. Wait. I don't want to do that. Do you think I do? Do you think me? Every single person that meets me will tell you I'm a damn robot, damn near. All I do is sit on the computer, do my studies, and do my work. Prepare my automations, get ready for my next set of clientele that I'm planning out for, figuring out what it is to be a media company in this landscape, because I hate this, I don't like this shit, but I gotta be a media company. So while you see all my numbers are down, is because I just figured that shit out, but I have an automation strategy that I've been working for multiple clients, and now I'm putting that in effect. And then in doing so, I'll then get into my clients by next summer, digging deep to be able to grab as many clientele in the media business, because I'm able to generate eyeballs. And if you're a music professional, you should be earning your YouTube royalties. When I talk about everything that's happening in the economy, understand I'm doing that from a musician's point of view. I'm making royalties. I don't give a damn how y'all make y'all royalties. I like my shit simple, which is, hey, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go on CD Baby. I'm gonna pay one time. I don't work for them. I'm not affiliated with them. I'm not getting paid by them. I have no sponsorship from them. I give away everything I have because I can disappear tomorrow and you should be able to eat. Our Father said, be fishers of men. So what I'm giving you isn't hopium. I ain't got time for that. I could sit in my lab and do my work and mind my own damn business. I don't have to do any of this shit. I don't have to put my thoughts out personally, none of that. Why do I do it? Because I really do have to. Because I don't think people see what's coming. Like, I think we see the news. I think we see what's coming down the line. No. Understand, I was telling my friends, my closest friends back in 2011, 2012, people are going to be working from home. Nobody's going to commute to a computer. This is stupid. And everybody's going to have to figure out how to make money on their own, because I think that everybody's going to have to figure out how to sell something. They're going to have a product, a service, or a subscription. Because I was watching that happen. Adobe had made a shift. Adobe became a subscription business, dropped their entire CD, DVD distribution business. They got out of the physical game. and went to a download strategy. Microsoft, I was watching them get into the cloud space. Amazon, I was watching them get into the server space. And instead of having a physical server in your office building, I saw that IT was going to be broken down to people that worked remote from anywhere, which means my competition was anybody with a internet connection and a decent price point. Now, so that means the gig economy is a race to the bottom, and this is what we're all going to. I'm going to show you what's about to happen. What's about to happen is a shift, a complete shift, because all right, they just averted the strike, right? The railways were getting ready to strike, and seemingly they just averted it. But do you know what just got cast as a red flag across the bow? The shot across the bow that just happened? A weakness was just shown, reared its head for disruption of the entire railway system. Because the flaw is unions, which is in all businesses, right? And what are they doing to crush unions? Automation, robotics. The Internet of Things does not care how you and I feel about whether or not we think we're going to be disrupted. It doesn't give a damn. If you're looking at this art, I am a designer. I design art. I did this while I was setting up for this talk today. Since we're going to be talking about the fact of our infrastructure collapsing, I wanted a truck yard, I wanted a trucking company abandoned with overgrowth. Because this is what our trucking businesses are going to continue to look like as inflation, as they keep raising the interest rates, as inflation starts eating up the little bit of cash flow that a company can actually generate. It's eating up the margins. You have to let go of people, but you already have a shortage of truckers, and truckers are already marginalized. The same thing, the same way that people that are on the rail yard and all of the anger and frustration that they're feeling is because an entire landscape of the business is changing. The cost of living is going up, but the need for that breathing carbon based work machine isn't really necessary. You know, and they're doing what? They're carbon emissions, they're reducing carbon output. It's real funny how you can take certain words and flip them on themselves. We have to reduce carbon, but you're a carbon based life form. They have to reduce your workload, they have to reduce your output. Well, no, they don't really have to reduce it. There's nothing for you to do. Since you went on a computer, everything became systemic. And since something is systemic, it means it's automatable. And what a CEO is now realizing is like, wait. If I sit down, I should be able to automate a good portion of my business through using something like Zapier. Sorry. Right? For those of y'all that know what Zapier is, it's a way. Hold on to me, because I know it's going to do this stupid thing. Hold on 1 second. Let me open up Incognito. There we go. right? So you've got Zapier, and you can create automation. So when something happens, you can connect to a website, get some data from that website, pass it to something else. And as I've been showing y'all, because that's expensive, I wanted to cut costs. I found this company N8N that I could download the same software, put it someplace, and create my own automations. Now, I will be creating a course for automation as I build out Toxic Hustle's automation. I'm gonna do screen captures. I've been working with it's like figuring out the software and the workflow, so this way I can scale up the 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 visible parts of what I'm actually doing to get Toxic Hustle's automation scripts running, to get its marketing out, to get to how I'm handling alerts internally for content to even be created. So a content calendar that is self-creating, right? So all of that comes with something as simple as this software. Now you can see on the bottom all these companies that are now jumping on board. This was not happening before, right? So learning this software, I'm telling you, is the beginning of changing your business, your mind state to saying, okay, as a media company, I'm going to create something. I'm going to create an I'm going to create an MP3 or an MP4, right? I'm creating an audio file or I'm creating a video file. That's your output. I'm not going to be cute and clamorous about none of this, as MG says, right? Your output, what you create, is one of two things. You're either creating videos, MP4, or you're creating audio, MP3. If you're creating audio, you're making sure your audio is generating enough residuals so that no matter what video you create, you should be able to earn royalties. I did a test on Toxic Hustle's YouTube page. I put a AI generated video. I put it out. I just let it sit. I didn't do any marketing. I just put a couple keywords in there, and then it's got more plays than most of my other videos. So that is the first test of me then saying I'm going to create these. I'll create stories through AI, then put the keywords for the fact that I'm using the AI, and then put these automated scenes out. If the song pops off, now all of a sudden that could be a music video that you can create, that you can actually physically do yourself, if or physically record with the artist, or you could sit there and do through Unreal 3D or some type of motion caption suite. Again, if you're thinking like a media company, you're thinking outside of you creating a beat. The flaw my father had was he thought he was a he thought he was in the music business because he made tapes every week and because he went to a bar and he played his music at a bar. He thought he was in the music business. I realized very quickly, no, he wasn't in the music business. He was in the music hobby. Because if you're in business, your business is supposed to be making you money, whether you're there or not, which means he needed to have royalties. My father never took the next step to get his royalties in place. Now, there was ways for him to do that, but he didn't take the time to do it. He didn't take the time to research it. He didn't have the internet. Sure, sure, sure. But people were making royalties years before the internet. And that's what we forget. Now it's mad easy. I tell y'all, hey, I'm telling you the way I do it. Hey, I put it on CD Baby. Now I'm putting videos together. I'm making channels that I'm gonna work on channels. I'm gonna work on exploring how to get those channels published, get them out, how to get them visibility, how to take it one stage to the next stage. Like for instance, if you're on YouTube, did you know that it takes you have to wait until you get at least 500 people before you can even get a community tab, so where you can actually post images or posts or polls to a person on YouTube, well, it takes 500 people. So ToxicHustle's got 357. That's all right. We have shorts. So now I've figured out, I've been studying how to flip the short algorithm. And then think about it. If I'm making royalties and on the platform, i.e., shorts, my music still plays, but I can get visibility, I get paid for just creating freaking shorts. So I can take anybody on the planet. If you like Gary Vee, you could take Gary Vee, put your music behind Gary Vee, and get paid for your shit playing behind somebody else's ish. And you've got fair use. Passive residuals. I didn't have to ask anybody to buy anything. No buying, no CDs right now. Like, I'm not like, look, I could sell t-shirts right now, right? I could sell printed material, print on demand, and push that right now. Who has the disposable income for a t-shirt right now? Y'all got to remember, I went through Second Life. And in that game of Second Life was right during the cusp of the 2007, 2008 collapse. What I realized real fast was the virtual world does not matter when nobody can pay for their internet bill. When a person is struggling to keep their lights on or trying to eat, they ain't got time for the internet. Though right now, that has to be the only bill you pay in a digital world where computers are scheduled to make money on their own. The Internet of Things needs the blockchain to pay its own bills, and that will supersede all of us. Crypto is not about you getting paid. It's about the system getting paid. It's about how do machines validate transactions and pay themselves to do work for themselves. If you don't have transactions going, you're not getting paid. This is going to be a transaction economy. Welcome to the transaction economy. It's going to be about scale. Workflows for every team, being able to optimize your business processes, being able to do that for other people. If you learn the software, well, guess what? That becomes a service you can offer. Business to business, because businesses are going to need help. They're going to be doing what? Laying people off. But they still got to promote their business, y'all. I was laid off. The company didn't get, I was laid off in 2016. That's when I knew we were in bad shape. That's the reason why I pivoted to media, like 1,000%. I was like, I'm pinning all of everything I know on all I love, shouty. I'm going to pin it on media because I think that this is the only one. Even when the venture capital guy I was working with, my former boss, or excuse me, former manager, director, I shouldn't say boss because I'm a boss. When I was working with him, he's not hearing me when I'm telling him, yo, media is going to be the gross domestic product. Why? Because I'm just a little nig who just needs to make these WordPress sites and shut the fudge up. No. I'm somebody who's been watching this technology. I'm somebody that built a computer rather than buy a computer back in 99. Because I figured out if I figured out how to maintain my machines, because I figure everybody's going to have a machine sooner or later. If I can figure out how to maintain my machine, I'll reduce my costs. And I could always keep my computers up. The only thing I'll need to worry about that I really can't control is the internet. And I just got to make sure I pay my internet bill. I got to make sure the internet makes me money. That's it. So when people don't think that the economy is going to fall, I point them to this. Inflation cooled slightly in August as sliding gas prices offset the rising costs everywhere else in the economy. Consumer price index, the CPI, 8.3%. 8.3. our inflation isn't dropping off, and it can't drop off because everything is going up, as well as every single portion of the supply chain is going through issues. We're going into a different economy. As businesses lay off, how are they going to pivot? They're going to pivot by putting you out and putting a machine in. Somebody laid off their tech people, their IT department, the tech division. I think it was hold on. I put it in the Discord. Boom, 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 boom. Bow. Patreon, I believe. It was Patreon. Patreon was laying off, I think, 10% of its workforce. Patreon, the place where all these YouTubers are generating cash flow for having Patreon members, the company itself is laying off because it's going to see no growth, and it is jumping ahead and reducing its costs because companies have to have value now. Are they generating revenue? Are they profitable? If you're not profitable, you have no value. We don't care about your 5 to 10 year expectation when I need to make sure, do you have a dividend? Are you generating cash flow so that you can maintain your stock through this downturn? More Americans are tapping buy now, pay later services for groceries, y'all. The highest interest rate device over credit cards is buy now, pay later. And if you miss a payment, that can jack up ridiculously. These, we'll have to see whether or not people consider this to be predatory lending in the future. So, Dorohedoro, I realized your name is actually an anime, dog. So, check this out. He was like, yo, what they got, AI cybersecurity software now to be laying them off. And I was like, you're right about that. I went and looked it up, and IBM does have artificial intelligence for business, right? And you can see the URL is IBM security artificial intelligence. And then IBM typically has APIs that I know is from working with their software before. So I'm sure there's APIs for this. So you can think about using N8N or Zapier or something like that, where you can control and trigger the AI to do something on the back end, get that work done, and then submit that information to the system or utilize, like, do like, hey, check to see if we have this. Okay, oh, you see these red flags. All right, pull these accounts and lock them down and send this message. Companies are going bust. US stocks suffer the largest weekly outflows. That's a new word I'm going to be keeping an eye on. I'm going to have the system begin to gather data on this. So, outflows is money leaving, leaving out of ETFs, leaving out of bank accounts, the monthly outflows of people just pouring out of their accounts, right? Inflows, how much money is coming in to the system. So that's going to be one of the things that we keep an eye on. At least I have the system keep an eye on because um, that's going to be important to know. You'll know when the bottom is when the narrative within the system begins to change. When the news, which is writing itself, begins to tell you, no, you're probably at the bottom. Adobe has something called a digital price index, which was showing higher inflation rates. So watch those third and fourth earning reports. They're probably going to be like hot shite. Um, Banks lost 370 billion in deposits last quarter. That's serious, man. 370 billion deposits gone. Again, another warning that that dip was going to be bad. We broke the 100, 50, 25 moving average. We also have Florida homes insurance. They only have like one insurer left for a whole state. So, y'all, we're going to start watching and seeing more companies begin to default. These companies are core to the infrastructure of our economy. As these ripple and fall, other things ripple and fall. So just keep an eye on housing right now because a lot is going to change in the near to not too long short future. Uh oh yeah, Goldman Sachs Apple Card is starting to people have defaults happening now. I put up a graph talking about 74% of my royalties are being generated within YouTube. So that's YouTube's content ID, which is basically their watermark, their CMS, and their music division. So YouTube Music itself. And you can see here, which I'll show you in the live graph, basically all three of these are all YouTube. TikTok royalties. Let's see what else is there. Amtrak. I gotta do some updated posts and make sure that if we make sure we have validation that um people are not that we're not actually going into the strike. Boom, 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 boom. Changing world financial order. All right. Gig economy race at the bottom. I kind of got that one already. Okay. Okay. I am ahead of the game, man. So 2009. I wanted to read this. This is the Harvard Business Review. This is 2009. Now realize, remember 2005, 6, 7, and 8 was everything that was accumulating to uh, the great financial crisis. So now, 2009, you have uh, rethinking the quote unquote growth strategy. So listen what it's saying. The credit crunch has forced people across many sectors to rethink their assumptions about how they do business, the roles of the individual in the larger system, and the very future of the system itself. These reflections are beginning to bear fruit. We've begun to see a shift from the old linear transaction based approach to business towards a new circular view in which shared resources can better benefit all in a way that adds depth and value to this future economy. Okay, now check this out. Economists describe this new model in many ways. One way is to use human cellular structures as a metaphor for economic growth. Call it the cellular economic theory. So they're already saying they're separating in the beginning of this entire talk. They're saying, hey, we're going to have to separate how we're doing transactions. And we're going to look at transactions as the human factor, which we just talked about. And again, I didn't read the article. I only actually read the first paragraph. I didn't go deeper. And I was like, oh, I'm going to talk about this because I went looking for transaction economy. What do cells tell us about business? Well, consider that cells that grow continually and exponentially, like we've been taught our economy should grow, are a form of cancer. We know intuitively and logically that continuous growth can't be sustained in living things. It's likewise unsustainable and undesirable in business. So they're saying we go through cycles. All of a sudden, if there's nutrients that flood this cellular growth, it can overgrow and harm the host body, causing it to have to go through a cycle of sickness to then hopefully get healthy again, and that it doesn't just collapse. This is currently our economic situation. We've created monetary digits in a computer system. Those digits went directly to a bunch of bank accounts. Those bank accounts pushed everything up. They started buying things because they were home, had nothing to do. Now, what you're looking at is because that money is running through the system, everything is going to stay up. Now that the money is run out, it's going to take some time for that collapse, but there's other things that's going on. There's, hey, we've been feeding this system for way too long, and we, the Fed, have to stop feeding this system for a while to reduce the monetary situation that is currently happening. Inflation is a monetary phenomena. Period. It's if take this inflation act they're doing. They are creating billions of dollars. Those billions of dollars are going to companies, going to employees that are buying things that are going up in price and or maintaining price. Going back into salaries that are going to want higher it's perpetual until there's enough unemployment to stop the demand. What the Fed has said, and don't fight the Fed, right? What the Fed has now said, we are signaling that we are crushing demand. The only way you crush demand is to have unemployment. Cellular economic theory suggests an alternative to linear growth, cellular growth, cyclical growth. This is the Harvard Business Review. New cells grow, new cells die, on and on. We sustain ourselves through regeneration. In business, a form of stage regenerative growth could become the norm. The growth may not even change the size of the economic body. So, what they're saying is we're going slowly into a shift, a collapse of the old economy, a new one comes in, and it shifts the old one out. The most profound change in the cellular economy is the devaluation of transaction. So when a value of your transaction, whatever that transaction is, we're talking about cellular, the living transaction, a person doing work. You do something for a day. You have to call X amount of clients. You got X amount of people to go ahead and get services, or you maintain the client being customer support. Whatever it is, it's to maintain cash flow coming into the system for that company. You are the cellular part of maintaining that. What happens if AI is a better customer service person than you? Would that now have you lose your job? Because what if a person calling couldn't tell the difference between you and the AI? That day is coming quick, where you can't even tell the difference from the verbal speak, as far as like the synthesized voice sounds human. That's where we're going to. Today, economic value is determined primarily by the value of the transactions. To grow, even just to survive, we must keep trading. We can trading goods, services, products, right? We must keep consuming. So somebody needs to buy those goods to consume it. No matter how wasteful the process becomes, because success is creating more transactions. So what happens when your analog transactions disappear? Is your company, look at your company, sit down and this is the hardest thing. Put your company out of business in your head. Like, how would you put your own company out of business? Even if you're working for corporations, like I was working for Canon, and at the time when I was sitting there telling everyone, this was in 2012, I was sitting there telling everyone, I don't think people are going to come work, commute to a computer anymore. In the future, I think everybody works from home. That's where we went. That's where we're going to continue to go, whether or not they want. But right now, they're using it to fire people. Oh, you got to come back to the office. No, I'm out. Okay, good. That way we don't. That way you cannot get unemployment because you quit. If you quit, you can't get unemployment. So you must be good. They're going to get that money back. Savings accounts are being bled dry right now. And then we've got to look at our grandparents and make sure your grandparents are safe. Your elders. Check after your elders, man. I have to do that my damn self. But check after your elders. They might not be doing so well. They may not have planned for this. Believe you me, I learned that with my mom's disease. And now I've got to work double because she didn't plan properly for a longer time with that her brain would have been debilitated. We have to move forward and think about those bills that our parents or grandparents didn't think were going to just magically show up. They didn't know inflation was going to jump this high. They didn't know that the economy wasn't just going to keep going up. They didn't know the Fed was going to make a hard pivot. They didn't know the every economy on the planet and every country was going to fall to the wayside. Now check this out. This keeps us locked into a linear growth oriented paradox. Fortunately, if not painfully, the internet is exposing the impossibility of sustaining a transaction based economy. As the net drives the cost of certain goods and services towards zero, it strips profit from the transactions. What they're saying is a couple years ago, I would have to go, okay. When I first got into music, I had to go back and forth to Manhattan to go record because I couldn't just go into my neighborhood and do a recording session. And then some of the places that you could go, they were kind of gringly. So you didn't, you weren't, you might go do a recording session, but you might get jugged, robbed on the way back out. So you wanted to go to at least a place where, hey, I can go to the studio, I can record, I can get back on the train, I can get home, all is well in the world, right? That was how you did your business to record an album. Now you can do that in the comfort of your own damn home. You can mix, you can master, you can release it, you can distribute it, you can earn the royalties for it. You can now get utility out of it and earn more royalties for it. You can act like a media company all the way to the catalog. You can think of your catalog as catalog, no different if you're signed to a label, your catalog is now catalog, and is how much is your catalog earning net 60 days, 90 days, or, per 30 days, per quarter, per semi-annum, per annual annum, right? And it's 5 times earnings if you want a loan later in once interest rates go down. If you're looking for a business loan, you can now, hey, I have this much earnings in my catalog. This is what my catalog is generating as far as earnings. Boom, it's 5 times earnings. And now I could take that money and treat it like my own advance off my own damn product and continue to grow your catalog and your utility, right? I shifted to a transaction based economy. I said, hey, what is the flaw for me being a producer? The flaw is what happens if the rapper doesn't want to pay $5 for a beat. I can sit there and say, well, you're just being cheap, or I can sit there and say, well, maybe he can't afford it. If it's $5 to be able to get the medicine he needs to be able to maintain his life so that he can take care of his kids, and whether or not he's going to rap, he's going to take the medicine over, you know, putting that on something that's not going to generate any cash flow in his mind as far as his music. And that's how I felt about my music for years until I realized, wait a minute, so long as I'm earning YouTube streams that are paying me, wait. I'm a paid artist. I'm getting my residuals. When I'm getting my Spotify royalties, I'm getting my residuals. Now it's just a matter of, well, for Spotify, that's dope, but I have to worry about your subscription. Well, the first thing that a person is going to cut off when they're going through a recession, guess what? Is a subscription. So Netflix and Spotify. So, but YouTube free. I mean, I pay for YouTube Premium because I don't do ads, and I do like a bunch of hours of studying on YouTube, whether it's graphic design or learning about AI or learning about business or learning about the stock market or learning about the economy or keeping an eye on the bond market or checking out what's going on in music and checking out plugins and checking out how to freak those plugins through MG stuff. You know, MG and I go hours on hours. So it's a lot of data. So I'm doing that at like 1.5 speed. Then I got audiobooks I gotta study because now I'm seeing like a bunch of things that I didn't even know, books that I didn't even know were out from people that I've been watching and they're recommending these books. So now I'm getting those books in my head and that's upping my strategies now. Because what we have to understand is in this transaction based economy, as long right now, TikTok, right? YouTube, Facebook, which will include Instagram. Well, through CD Baby alone, I get royalties on all those platforms, which means any single time, us like boom, like I just did this today. Oh, messed that up. Oh, I spelled my stuff wrong. Duh. Boom. Like I just found out, like my tracks are out here, right? So already royalties are being generated. I didn't do shite, y'all. Not a damn thing. I keep my life simple. I like optimization of my workflow. So when I make a recommendation to y'all, I'm making it because this is the easiest freaking point. I just concentrate on content now. I don't have to worry about being a distributor. I don't have to worry about partnering any deals. I don't have to worry about where my royalties are coming from. I just need to put out content. So what I've been focusing on is automation or optimization of my songwriting workflow, which let me show y'all what I've been working on. This is why I haven't been around. Is this. I've been going through and actually working on my entire songwriting blueprint, like how I write music, how I get songs done. From humming an idea into my phone or recorder to laying it into my digital audio workstation or DAW and being able to get the idea out of my head. And I've been working step by step. I just went through a whole song, recorded the whole song. I started doing some mixing stuff, but I found some new plugins. I love the Ozone new the new Ozone stuff, even though it's still kind of memory hog. But regardless, I'm doing this entire process to be able to record the music, get the music done, and get it out. So this way, I can crank out songs, beats. I can crank out all the material I need for video that I can now go to something. Let me show y'all something, man. Like when I say that this changes everything. Mid-Journey. This is what I was working on while I'm doing my getting my core getting my stuff ready for today. This thing is was generating all these shots. Like I chose one shot, but I was just going through shot after shot after shot, just having the AI make the artwork I was going to use for today's video. Now, do you think all of this is wasted? Do you think any of these AI shots are going to be wasted? I can scale up any of these things, put them into a video on my own timeline, which I want to do on TrajicK. I've been actually testing TrajicK out to be able to post uh, sample shots of other stuff. So I'm going to be using the YouTube channel poll to be able to get more visibility to some of the other stuff. Plus, I'm going to be doing more of the AI video work on my own personal channel because I'll be doing art projects and doing beat projects for that art. So now every time I get enough to release on an album on CD Baby, I just release that whole album, and while that gets released and gets out there and it takes a couple weeks for everything to get put into place, I'm working on the visuals. By the time everything gets done, I'm now generating video and throwing that out. Then I'm creating shorts, and those shorts are of those videos. And then I'm putting those shorts and circulating those. Then I'm creating other formats for other social media and broadcasting out there. Now, the goal is how do you automate the video and distribution portion of that? Because I'm one person. That's what's coming on Toxic Hustle as I build out everything on ToxicHustle.com. So now, layoff. So now, let's see. Let's talk about CD Baby partners. Hold on. There we go. There we are. Okay. So I did the update on the 13th, which is 2 days ago. I did the update, and here's what we found for year to date, what's been going down in the royalty partners. This is what the revenue that's coming in from streaming on CD Baby. So these are all the places that are the majority of the highest amounts of cash flow, actual physical revenue that's being generated. So you can see YouTube content ID. So basically the digital signature of the audio is generating 51.79% of royalties. So that means when I made this video, this way it can make it simple, man. Make it simple. Really, we're gonna be slow. We're gonna be slow. How you gonna be slow? Your channel, thank you. All right. So in this video here, Mid-Journey AI generated art test video, TrajicK beat, reach for you. So this video here, I'm making full use of capitalizing for this here. So just by taking my audio, piecing it to some other content signature, royalties, off rip, right? Then there's the CMS. There's music. So there, you get 8%. 8% of my royalties came from their YouTube Music platform. And then there's YouTube CMS. I'm not exactly sure what that is. I will look that up, but I think that is when the stuff shows up on other people's sites, and or if it's directly inside their own system itself, like YouTube itself. I think this is the YouTube content. All right, so then you got the content ID is the views. You got the CMS, so you can see I get a lot of visibility through the CMS. but it doesn't generate as much of royalties. And then you can see this big chunk comes from Content ID, and it generates way more in the royalties department. And then the next is TikTok. You don't even see that on the board as far as royalties. So cash flow, though we have a lot of visibility in TikTok, that doesn't generate about anything, which is not surprising. And then there's Spotify with the small little sliver of visibility, generating a decent chunk at around 6.32% came from Spotify. Let's see. Facebook generates about 1%. We're not even on the board over there. There's no real content there. We will be looking at a content strategy to be able to put, like, again, the fact that we can post things to you to Facebook, and that we can get visibility. That means you could do memes, meme videos. You can automate, not automate. You could put audio to successful memes that are on YouTube, and then post them out into groups, and then let them get circulation without having to be spammy. But now all of a sudden your royalties on the back end generating you cash flow. Just an idea, right? I want to get us as much utility as possible. Showed you the songwriter's blueprint. Yep, I showed you. This is So I'm working on this. I should have my songwriter's blueprint done in the next week. It's a week and a half. I do have to record everything, but I'm still going like line by line. Like some of these I don't have to do right now. They can be on the fly. They're mostly screens, but I gotta write out my what I'm gonna be doing for like my mix, and write out what I'm gonna be doing for my mastering. I'm just locking those in place, and then I'll go ahead and start getting these screens out. The goal of this is, again, once you get your songwriter stuff, once you're getting your music out there, it just gives you extra media that you can add to video that you can generate more royalties with. Again, you may not be able to sell a track to somebody, but at this point in time, the only reason you sell beats to someone is to get on an album, and you're hoping that that album becomes a commercial of selling some type of chip product, because that's going to make way more royalties than the 16 to 20 weeks you're getting out of the artist if he has enough marketing campaign. We've got to scale up our transactions. If you could generate an extra $2,000 a month passively, does that not make sense? You could take that 2,000 and what? Invest it in yourself, invest it in software to help scale up your business or optimize your business, and keep it moving. Now, one of the things I'm going to be working on is I'm going to be working on ToxicHustle Pulse. That is going to be a weekly thing that I'm going to be doing. It's almost like notes, where at the end of the week, I'm it's going to be at the end of the no, excuse me, at the beginning of the week, I'm pretty much going to be hammering down the strategy for the week, what we're doing as a media company, and then trying to lock in whether or not it's successful or not. So trying to put all of the plans together on what it takes to get the visibility to the site or to our content, what that looks like, what are we doing in real time, and that's going to be on Toxic Hustle, ToxicHustle.com. As we roll this out, we'll be really focusing on scaling up our channels, scaling up a couple partner channels that we're working with, and then scaling up a couple clients that we're working with, and you'll be able to see how we're going about working with these clients. So one of the things that I'm doing is saying, let's say I'm working with a chef. Well, who's to say you can't work with a chef in your local area? You have restaurants right near you. These restaurants are still going to need visibility. They don't understand that YouTube is the new television. They don't understand that they're going to need visibility, and they're going to try to pay Facebook, and they're going to try to pay Google, and they're going to say, well, it just doesn't work. You're over time going to tell them, well, no, of course it's not going to work, because one, we have to create a community. Two, we have to create a media buzz. Three, we have to engage them in things that they care about. Like but him as a business, he just wants to sell food, right? You have to give him that swag. But that's what then you'll be paid for monthly to provide these services for. Then it's just about optimizing, right? Because the thing is, what is your product? What is your subscription? And what is your service? Subscription slash residuals. That's going to be your royalties and or any subscription programs you have. Residuals. You have books. You have your royalties themselves. Products, T-shirts. That's only when you can see that you're in a growth zone and people got cash in their pocket and monkeys can freaking trade stocks and make money. Then you can sit there and say, oh, I got T-shirts, I got products, I can sell goods because, people are still buying goods. Now, not to say that people still aren't buying them, but people are carving back. That means third and fourth quarter results are going to go down. That means the stock market ain't done bleeding yet. Because the Fed ain't changing. They ain't pivoting. They ain't going to sit there and go, oh, we're done. Not unless something major breaks. So we're talking about another 10% drop in the market. So again, keep an eye out over the next few weeks. As I told you, within 3, we got a dip here. Within 3, we'll get our dip here. I think we've already started, don't you think? With our 2% drop today. And everybody that was holding up for the whole Ethereum thing, y'all, on the back end of crypto winter, which we're in, and when you have this purple, which is your November dip, and you see this purple, which is your November dip, there ain't no rally coming. Stop getting gassed. Bitcoin's dead till 2024 halving cycle. So from here on out, it's a wrap. Now, maybe you can buy at the bottom in March of next year. Maybe. It depends on where the real estate market is, because as the stock market bleeds, it hemorrhages out the rest of this damn year as quarterly results continue to miss earnings. January, which is a big dip, right, did a dip right there. You've got people who are going to take their stocks, sell their stocks, and put it in IRAs to bypass taxes top of the year to you. So, and then real estate ain't done hemorrhaging. So by maybe March, you're looking at real estate prices potentially capitulating and dropping a little stone. So that's why I say I will wait to see March, April to see where we're at and see how the vibe feels. But we still have this dip coming next week. We still have November's dip right around the corner. Now we'll look to see if there's any other dips in between. Let's see. RTP, what's going on? 1.5 speed for the clutch, for real, for real. Yup. So we talked about the layoffs. Well, I didn't really hit layoffs yet. Let me see. Boom, boom, boom. Let's look at layoffs. Let's go tools. Oh, there we go. Let's do the past week. Twilio to lay off 11%. Twilio. So that's SMS automation. That's text messaging. I think that's also a little bit of email. So digital. It's a digital-based company. And they're seeing a pullback. Of course they are. There's a lot of vampire companies who are using their services that pretty much probably went bankrupt. G4 TV hit with major layoffs. G4 cancels streams amid layoff reports. Tencent guts its gaming news sites, firing staff. Let's go to the news. Get ready for a winter of discontent with layoffs, high inflation, and a plunging stock market. That's Forbes telling you. Damn, Forbes. Talk about Patreon, 17% of its workforce. Patreon. Damn. Warner Brother Discovery faces more rounds of layoffs. 30% of CEOs see economic downturn triggering more layoffs. So 30% of your CFOs, your chief financial officers, are talking about, hey, we looking to start laying some people out of here, bruh. 17% out of Patreon. Goldman Sachs, you got your banks getting ready to lay off. Snap is laying off people, but he's doing it in a nice way. 60 companies of the top companies across sectors announced layoffs. In August. I was looking down on the bottom down here and just see what the rest of it is so I don't have to click on it. Tech layoffs in 2022. 63% of small businesses have stopped hiring. This is 1 day ago. That's a huge jump. So now let's think about that. Again, these are the signs that your market, our market, is not going to be around to make these quote unquote earnings. How do you make earnings? People buy things. Okay, if the people that buy things are getting laid off, how do you make earnings? Do you see what you see the perpetual BS? You see how the Ponzi works? See, if the government is not printing money, there's no economy. Do you see how the Ponzi works? If the Fed is not generating some BS whatever and lowering rates and doing, if the Fed is not in it to win it, there is no economy. This is proof positive of that. So if companies are telling you their third and fourth quarters, they're going to be doing layoffs, those layoffs are employees. Those employees consume things, buy things. If they get laid off, and if there's more laid off people, and that means there's less jobs, that means the rate of unemployment goes up. Which is exactly what the Fed wants. They want more unemployment to crush demand. Damn, there's that cycle of Fed speak. To crush demand, what do we have to do? There's going to be some unemployment numbers that we're going to have to be comfortable with. This is going to be painful. Okay. So to crush demand, you're telling me you're going to lay people off, telling me that there's not going to be disposable income, telling me that third, fourth quarter earnings are going to be down, meaning when they miss earnings, stock prices go down. Though we have the highest homeless numbers right now, right? Isn't that what we doing? And that's what's out on the street. Many leaving Austin homeless shelters without a path to San Francisco's homeless crisis won't be solved anytime soon. Business owners are fed up with the homeless. North Texas creates a space for homeless kids and families. East Bay homeless camp faces closure, but money to help residents stuck in limbo. There's a homeless camp. You see what I'm saying? This is what it looks like when the Fed crushes demand. Now, what we have to worry about is the pivot of the economy. What is the next 5 to 10 years going to look like? That is where you put yourself out of business right the hell now. Do not be afraid to put yourself out of business, because if you don't put yourself out of business, you will not see the change you need to make within yourself and your options. You won't have any. Do you know how bad I feel when I talk to a brother on the street and he's just sitting there going, yeah, man, I don't even know what to do. And at the point of where he's on the street, there's nothing he can do because he doesn't have a computer to hear a damn thing I could tell him. The blessings that you're even able to hear this means I want to respect the time that you're giving me. I want you to prepare. I want you to study as much as you can about Internet of Things. Begin to see what computers are going to be doing by themselves. Start looking at artificial intelligence. You ain't got to program it. Just know what technology is coming and whether or not you can use it in your business somehow. If you're a media professional / music professional, you already know what you can do with it. You can do what I'm doing. I can create artwork for my music. I can create backdrops for music videos. I can create logos. I can create graphics. I can create anything I need for the facilitation of my music properties. I can do things for clients, design for clients, get paid for designing for clients, doing media for them like I do for me. And now I can get a monthly retainer for maintaining their professional profiles. Again, I watched a little girl do this back in MySpace. I was reading articles about her where she got her father to damn quit his job because she needed him to work with her because her business was doing hundreds of thousands of dollars per month and she didn't know how to handle it. And then the father quit his job immediately because he was an accountant. He saw exactly what his daughter was doing. And what did I see? I saw somebody maintaining digital real estate. Don't you pay somebody to maintain your rental properties? Huh? Don't you pay somebody to maintain your hotel properties? Huh? So is not a server / website nothing more than some place that people visit? It could be a storefront. If it's a blog and it's something creative, it's just your shop. Or it links to your book and it's just exposure for your book. Or it's a way for people to communicate with you, for you to help do a business consultation. Right now, everything is tied to the digital market, but nobody is really facilitating the digital market as the core of their cash flow streams. Right now, we have to have jobs. Of course, we do. But while you have the X amount of hours, we all have 24 hours a day. In my evening time, no matter what I'm doing during the day, no matter if I got to make deliveries for our food business, our home delivery business, if I've got to go do a drop off for an event, whether I've got to run and do a meeting to try to drum up some clientele for marketing, when I come back home in the evening time until 10 o'clock, I've got time to do some type of self learning, some self education, to do some work, to generate some cash flow, to generate some marketing. So if you get like, so again, if you have a job, that's your 9 to 5, okay, we know it's about an 8 to 6, right? Because you got to take your commute time. Then you got to eat. So you say you got 7. So you got 7 to 10, you got 3 hours. What do you do in those 3 hours? You know what I do? I digest an audiobook at 1.75 speed with my eyes closed so I can absorb the entire understanding of it. It took me time to speed up to that level. but it's hacking how I digest the information necessary to keep me ahead and motivating me to move forward past a collapsing tsunami of analog business models. All of these people who did not realize, oh shit, Best Buy crushed this place called Circuit City. And in Best Buy was only a website before they did that. They went stupid and became Circuit City. Then this thing called Amazon came out and said, well, we're just going to do what you were doing, but we're just going to stay on the website and just buy warehouses and not really try to have storefronts. And if we do have storefronts, we're really just doing R&D for our software. That's the hustle. They're a software business. At the end, Amazon is nothing more than a hardware software business. Hardware Ring, hardware Echo. Well, not Echo, that's Google. Alexa, which they bought from another company. Alexa was this search engine thing. It was a data analysis of the back end of websites where you could get the statistics for any website out there about what their traffic looked like. Right now, we are going into a shift where computers are going to be the only thing making cash flow. So that, and they're going to be doing transaction after transaction after transaction, generating videos, generating audio, generating, let me show you something. Hold on. I'm going to show you. If you're a videographer, get ready. What is it called? AI. Where are you? Hold on. Trying to see if it's just going to be on the first page of Google or not. It may not be. But I know if I go to YouTube, it will be. I think this may be it. Put this on mute real fast. Put that on pause. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. What is it called? Run away. There we go. There we go. Hey, hey. Ah, shoot. Put that back. All right, there we go. So this is a cloud-based video editor. Cloud-based video editor. That basically, boom, that's how fast it takes to do your green screening. That's how fast. Paint out objects. So do that so that what you can do now, you do it with video, right? But you're not using your computer to process none of this. So a big portion of all of this is that you have to run your machine. And like, let's say if I want to do a green screen on my machine, on my powerful machine, I had 2 CPUs, I think I had 128 gigabytes of RAM. It still would take like half a day to do the green screen, to do something like this. And even then, it would take me hours to do the cleanup work and watching the mats and following the mats. No. What we're about to, the scale, the output, the scaling of your output is coming. Professional animations built in. I actually need to reevaluate this one more time because if I can, I've gotta really look into whether or not there's any APIs, because if there is, I might be able to do some stuff with this, but we'll have to see. But there's your AI video editing system that keeps growing with leaps and bounds. Part of it that they're doing, and this is crazy. Hold on. Let me see if they have it here. Runway research. Runway research. Let's see if they have high resolution diffusion. Let's see. Yeah, they put their research papers out. This is kind of what I'm working on as well. Like I was not to this extent because I'm no scientific researcher, but to actually put our research out on how we're doing things and what we're doing. These tools are moving fast. Being able to have this at your disposal. Um, I'm trying to find this one thing. It was crazy. It was basically they could. It was like playing. You could sub out the actual background. Runway tennis video. I want to show you this. It's Runway ML, right? Machine learning videos. Here it is. This right here might be it. Dun, 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 dun. Wow, 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 wow. There we go. Coming soon. So it's playing here on dirt ground. The AI is subbing the dirt grind out for sand. Now he's at a desert beach with a stone wall. Now he's in the desert. Now you got this mountainside. So imagine what your videos are going to be able to do. Snowy field, right? You have AI. Like, look at this. On a road, this is what AI is going to be able to do for video. Are you serious? And now, look, you see the words are they're changing the words. Artifacts of an alien civilization. A tennis court next to the artifacts of a civilization. Tennis court with the mountains in the background. Tennis court in an apocalyptic desert. This is what I mean when I say these companies are creating tools that are about to scale out how you create visual content. Now, as a music professional, if you are getting your YouTube royalties, i.e., upload to CD Baby and get your freaking royalties, you take your videos, you create these crazy things. This gets X amount of thousands of freaking plays on YouTube and or Facebook, earning you royalties because your audio is playing on the back end. So just prepare your businesses because I looked at me as a web developer and I said, yo, I just use WordPress. Anybody on the planet can put up a WordPress site. It's going to get easier and easier for people to be able to do that. That means my business and me charging what I was charging will have to go down. How do I know that was going to happen? The salary that people who wanted to pay me just because I had WordPress went from $65,000 down to $30,000. And I was like, damn, y'all disrespectful. So think about that. Every technical skill that gets technical pay scales, if their job can be done with AI, it's a wrap. Do they have a second Do they have a second punch? Do you have a good left cross? Right? If you rely on your right, do you have a good left for a good jab to stave off so you can get that right in? Right? So it's one of those things where you got to look at what else do you do besides make beats? What else do you do besides record music? How many clients have your material and what's the results of them utilizing your content in their material? I mean, in their business. Did you help them with their marketing campaign? How much were they generating in views and visibility? And how much did you generate? Did you generate 10,000 views in 3 months for them when they couldn't even do 100 views on their own? You don't think that you can't put that as a proof of concept, put it on LinkedIn, and get other clientele who want your services to be able to do the same thing? You just have to prove the numbers, and it can't be automated and manufactured. You have to have a process. Well, the process is easy. You keep putting out content. That's it. So let me go through my note. Let me go through my notes real fast. Make sure I covered everything. All right, we talked about Bitcoin and stocks. September dip coming in next week. So just keep an eye in the next 2 weeks to see how that plays out. For this week, next week and the week after next. So the 19th and the week after that. So the second and third week, or third and fourth week. I talked about the CPI at 8.3, still bullish. We talked about nobody should be commuting to a day on computer. The new financial world order, computers are going to be taking over all of the financial transactions. So you're going to have to scale up your transactions. They're going to be microtransactions. So since they're going to be microtransactions, you've got to make a hell of a lot more transactions, meaning you got to do tens of thousands of transactions to generate a couple $100. So that's the way that this business model begins to go. You're in a gig economy where it's a race to the bottom because people who have Photoshop, people who have graphic skills, AI that does graphics, and now video, like I showed you with the video on the screen. Um, all of these companies are going to want your content, but they're not going to pay you because everybody's going to race to the bottom of their salary profiles, leveraging all this technology to reduce their price points. But at the same time, everybody has to do the same thing. So it just means, again, a race to the bottom. It also means you're going to get paid less to do more. Damn, sucks. Let's see what else we got. I talked about the layoffs and the strikes, the railroad, how it's gonna disrupt the supply chain. Since it's been staved off, I didn't really go into it. So I kind of bypassed that because it looks like we're good. But I will say this: just keep an eye on this. If there was already a slowdown, there was already companies that had rolled back and slowed down and didn't do some shipments. So those may have some effects, but it won't be as bad. Most of our stuff, over 70 something percent of all goods and services are on the railroad. So this would have been painful. That's why they made sure to not let that fall through. So and then sell-offs, as far as the stocks are still being sold off, right? So just get ready. Market's gonna still go down. Real estate slowdown. Earnings for third and fourth quarter. We talked about that already. Evictions going up. I didn't talk about the evictions. 1 second. I didn't talk about evictions. Go to tools. There you go. This week. So LA County commits to ending eviction moratorium by year's end. Okay, so that means, y'all, that we haven't even begun to see the evictions yet in certain portions of the United States. So we're talking about LA, California. Ever since.
Guess what, bitch? Coronavirus.
Since that, they ain't got no time for it. No, they talking about, okay, well, we're gonna have to put you out.
Bruh.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
This ain't nothing to be playing with. So what we're looking at right now is the fact that if we're talking about December, that means more people. That means people have already lost their job. Means now people are losing their home. Means that now there's going to be more supply on this, more housing supply available that people are not going to be able to get into because they can't afford it. Which then means that the price, because there's more supply, there's less demand, means lower prices. Let's see. Evictions show the need to stabilize the rental market. No lease, no rent. Let me see what's happened in the last month. No. We're on news, right? Oh, we're not even on news. Sorry, y'all. I'm bugging. I was bugging. There we go. I wasn't even on the news tab. That's why it was looking weird to me. So now I should be able to go back and just look at the week. Right? Give me back my week. There we go. Class notes, boys and men, home evictions. Oregon property managers oversee a large share of evictions. LA County commits to end eviction moratorium by year's end. So again, Arizona evictions on the rise as judges face more and more cases. In our view, evictions show the no, don't care about that. Big Brother, blah blah blah. City council tries to divert evictions. LA County. Petaluma amends rent protections for just cause evictions. Just cause. But evictions in Mecklenburg County rising back to pre-pandemic levels. And we were going through a financial crisis right about then. And then
Guess what, bitch? Coronavirus.
Came around and and people got checks directly. And they think that that they can bring down the inflation rate.
No.
Nope. You cannot reduce inflation by adding to inflation. You increase the monetary supply. When you increase it, you increase the inflation rate. So right now, just be on the lookout because as supply of rentals go up, as the supply of homes on the market go up, as defaults, bankruptcies. Let's look at bankruptcies. Have we seen them start to rise up? I know I'm spelling this all types of wrong. One, or maybe not. Look at them. Let's see. Personal bankruptcies in the round. Okay, Japan. Jeez. Personal bankruptcies, 70,000 in 2021. Okay, no, that's not. Let's give me, what is the past week? Slowing growth, exacerbates debt strains. Bankruptcies. Bankruptcy. Let's put bankruptcy. I want to keep it plural. Hawaii bankruptcies rise as streak of falling cases ends. U.S. corporate bankruptcies are rising 6 days ago. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Let's see what this is saying because I can't read all that. Bankruptcies for North Dakota, Western Minnesota. No, thank you. You playing that BU-ish. Just give me the information, man. Just give me the information, man. Bankruptcies, unavoidable. Oh, yeah. Big energy bankruptcies in the UK. So UK is having some energy crisis. A bunch of their companies are going bankrupt and they're becoming government subsidized. There's only so much that the government can keep paying on, and if they keep paying for the subsidies of electricity, means that they're flooding the system with monetary policy, increasing inflation rates. You can't spend money and think inflation is going to fall. If there's 5 of you and all 5 of you have $1, those $5 can only just go through your hands. If I come in and then just give you some money, I flood the money, but now you have more money in your hands and it's siphoning between all of y'all. And then if I just throw some more money and I add like 1 or 2 more people, but I'm throwing more money, I'm flooding the system with money. It's going to run to goods. It's going to run to services. It's going to raise rates. It's going to raise salaries. It's going to raise prices on real estate. It's going to raise fuel costs. Everything jumps up, just like we saw what happened when everybody got money in their bank accounts from the Rona. All of our bank accounts went all the way up. Now all of our bank accounts are on empty.
Emotional damage.
That's how we feel. Let's see. Real estate slowdown and evictions. We talked about that. Oh, trucking. Oh, just keep an eye on the trucking firms. I think they're going down as well. And we've got farms. So I'm gonna be looking for some news that I'll post in the Discord to keep y'all abreast of that. Again, ToxicLearning, my TrajicK Songwriter's Blueprint will be coming out in the next few weeks. So keep a lookout for that. ToxicHustle Pulse, the free as well as the pro versions will be launching soon. So that way you can see what I'm doing with the company, how we're generating our media, how we're growing our media business in real time. You can see us from the lows to we all the way up. But I'm going to get ready to break up out of here, y'all. I appreciate y'all spending time with me for real.